What up, Bulls Nation? We've got live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up right around the corner. On tonight's postgame, the Bulls fall to the Bucks 126-110 in NBA Cup action. They are now 1-1 in the Cup. They fall to 6-2 on the year. Modest showed early signs of aggressiveness in life, but Giannis is better. We'll break it down next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls, presented by Michelob Ultra and Bet365. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra and download that Bet365 app. Use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's my guy, Big Dave. Bam! Bam! BAWL Sports.
What up?
Joey C, King of the Controls. What up, Joey?
Man, when you lose these cup games, they hit hard.
I see,
They
man.
do.
Straight to the soul.
It hit you a little tough, man.
I'm shattered.
Joey really wanted the Emirates Cup Bulls win tonight.
He did.
He really wanted it.
He did. I saw it in his soul, man. He had to get a shot of Malort.
What?
People are chasing that cup.
Too soon.
I did
Too soon?
Too soon.
3 of those last night.
It was not meant to be. 7-1 was not meant to be, but it is okay. Will the GOAT Gottlieb was up at Fiserv Forum in enemy territory tonight. He'll join us later in postgame to help us break this one down and shed some light on what he heard from Billy and the players after this.
Sounds good.
Dave, 126-110, it felt like it was a closer game, all 48, than that final score reflects.
Yeah.
The Bulls even, made it a run. I think, what did they cut it, 85-80 going into the fourth?
Correct.
It was, I think, maybe even a possession or two closer than that at
Correct.
times in the fourth.
Also correct.
But the Bulls did not get enough stops.
No.
And did not convert enough, unlike that comeback miracle against the Sixers. Giannis just proved too gosh darn powerful, unstoppable. We've talked about the Bulls as a team that allows a lot of points in the paint.
Yeah.
And nothing to be done. It's just who this team is right now. They did a good job in the first half preventing the Bucks from going off. They allowed, I believe, only 22 points in the paint to the Bucks by halftime. The Bucks finished with 60.
Yeah.
You could say some of that is just Giannis missed a lot of looks around the rim early before he got going.
He did.
But, I don't think that this is a problem that can be solved tonight or tomorrow when it comes to the Bulls and allowing dominant size players like Giannis to score at will inside.
I mean, you don't want to take nothing away from the performance you saw from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Dude's a Hall of
generational
Famer.
greatness that you're sitting out there watching. I don't care what you put on him, what defense you call, what you say you need to take away, what you say, where you say he needs to be on the floor, say force him left, force him right. It doesn't matter. He's going to get points. He's going to ball 41, 15, and 9 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. And he's 50% from the field. Goes to the line 11 times, hits 8 of those free throws. He was a plus 16. And that was just a normal game. It's just a normal game, man. Like, honestly, I'm speaking like this because I love watching greatness, and sometimes it's a pleasure to sit and watch greatness, even though it's happening against my team that I love.
Yeah.
You still tip your cap to Mrs. Corningstone on that one. That's what you do. Like, that dude is just great, and it was just amazing to sit and watch. You're right, Matt. This could have easily been 50 for him, but he was missing layups at the rim. He wasn't shooting a really high percentage in that first half. In that second half is when it all got together for him, and he brought the game home for the Milwaukee Bucks. But as far as the beloved, I think they really struggled with the size tonight of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I felt like on several possessions, they let that size kind of dictate what the Bulls were going to do on the floor. We saw the Bulls pass up several layups on that floor. And sometimes it was because Giannis was standing there. Sometimes it was because Turner was standing there. Other times it was just because they were spooked, period. You know what I'm saying? That somebody was there in the paint. And they kicked it out for other shots, and sometimes those shots hit, sometimes they didn't. But they turned down higher percentage shots because those were bigger guys inside. I expected a physical game. It was a physical game. I thought the Bulls kind of matched them with the physicality early on. And again, it went Giannis in the fourth quarter. And I think that's the bottom line of it, guys. They went Giannis in the fourth quarter and tipped to Turner, who had one of his best games this season against the Bulls. You know, when his three-point shot is hitting, he's on point. But I thought the Bulls played really solid, you know, for that first half and half of that third quarter. And then it just went Giannis. Like, that's the best way I can say it to you. It just went Giannis.
Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the chat. Even though it is a loss tonight, doesn't mean you can't hit that like button. Thanks for being here, sharing the misery. A little group therapy tonight. It always helps the pain go down. I do see a lot of people in the chat mentioning Giannis getting whatever he wanted from the refs. Somebody's talking about, you know, the fouls that Giannis was getting versus fouls that Josh Giddey wasn't getting tonight. I mean, I'm sorry. The Bulls took 16 free throws. The Bucks took 18. Yeah. I'm not pointing at the refs tonight. I'm just not. Yeah. Shout out to the South MU who said, where did it go? Giannis was under 50% for most of the night. He missed 16 shots. A good team will take that from Giannis.
They will.
Bulls need to board and make their threes. A modest night for the Bulls behind the three-point line, even though you were talking about them getting, you know, shied away from the paint.
They were.
10 of 33 for 30%. The Bucks hit 16 of their 39 for 41%. But to me, it's the other thing that South MU said. It's the boards. Because we've been talking early and often this season, because Billy Donovan has been preaching about it, we need to win the possession battle.
Correct.
We need to play fast and win the possession battle. It's hard to accomplish both of those things every single night in a long 82-game season, but you have this freight train named Giannis that you know is going to be hard to slow down. You cannot, on top of giving up Giannis everything in the paint that he wants, take 12 fewer field goal attempts than the Bucks, and that's what happened tonight. The Bulls took 90 shots. The Bucks took 102. Some of that is not doing your work on the defensive glass. The Bulls did also lose the turnover battle tonight and points off turnovers battle tonight. But I mean, come on, man. This is the Milwaukee Bucks. You cannot give them an extra dozen shots.
Yeah, no, it's true. They Bucks also had 13 offensive rebounds to the Bulls, 8 offensive rebounds. So that's not going to help either. But also, just to stick with the rebounding, Matt, nobody on the Bulls had 10 rebounds.
Not even Pat?
Not even Lee. Yeah, that was Pat. Not getting those rebounds.
He flirted with a career high with 6.
With 6.
Good job, Pat.
But even Vooch, you know what I'm saying, having 6 rebounds. Even Giddey having 7 rebounds. But nobody had over 8. Modest led the way with 8 rebounds for the team. But, yeah, that's never going to cut it when you don't have somebody who can get double-digit rebounds for the squad. So I thought that was impactful because Giannis is going to do that. Giannis had 15 of those rebounds. It's the reason they have 52 rebounds to the Bulls 45. But those offensive rebounds, like I said, kind of tipped that in their favor right there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, like that just can't be the case. Like, you've got to be better on the glass, and that's going to be very, very important. But, again, I think we learned something that we kind of knew was the Bulls are going to struggle with size. You know, they're going to struggle with teams with size and teams that are physical, you know, with that kind of size. That's why a lot of that game, you heard me screaming about going inside, not shying away from the contact, going into the contact.
Right.
Because against these kind of teams and in these kind of games, the Bulls have to play that kind of way. I'm going to be looking forward again tomorrow when they play Cleveland. It's going to have to be like that again because, again, you're going against a team with some serious size out there. And you're going to have to be physical. The only way to chop down the tree is to swing the axe. So you have to swing your axe out there, man, and you have to attack and be physical. I think one thing that also hurt, Matt, with that physicality was Isaac Okoro getting in very early foul trouble for them because he couldn't establish his rhythm. When he did establish his rhythm, when he came out and scored 6 points in that third quarter, he drawed a foul immediately and got his 4th foul, and then Billy had to take him out the game again. So, yeah, man, like they were kind of off kilter with a lot of this stuff. Not a good look for the team. Just like, oh, man, this is just the worst loss ever. I didn't feel like that about it. They definitely still fought. They definitely were still in the game. But some of those deficiencies, you know, reared their ugly head, as they're going to do on certain nights, and especially against really good teams like this one.
Yeah, Jeff Rocks in the chat saying Giannis had a couple of dunks tonight that were a massive reminder.
Nasty.
Shout out Spathis. That the Bulls don't have that same level of superstar. Yeah, in case you forgot or were thinking differently, the Bulls do not have a superstar the level of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Few do.
I saw the cute,
Few do.
Giddy number 6 in NBA.com's current MVP polling race or whatever.
Shout out to him.
Cool.
Deserve it. Yeah.
Yes. Like his stat line on a team that was 6-1 deserved.
Yeah.
There are superstars, and then there are budding possible maybe stars that are playing well in a 7-game sample size.
Sure.
Giannis is different, man. Like there's a reason this man is one of how many have won the league MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season?
Yeah,
because the list is like Giannis and 2 other dudes.
Yeah, it's not many.
Yeah, we did this. It's like 4 or something like that. It's like MJ. It was like David Robinson, Hakeem,
yeah,
and maybe Giannis.
It's
one more too.
Tim Duncan. Yeah. What?
I mean, it's why I didn't
David
bet.
Robinson.
I didn't bet the Bucks to win tonight, but I did bet Giannis to put up 35 or more points.
Yeah,
free money. Like I've seen what this Bulls defense can and can't do through 7 games, and I've seen what Giannis has been doing in the first handful of Bucks games.
Sure,
he is in freight train mode right now.
Yeah,
and the Giannis freight train. I don't care who's on your team. Yeah. You can maybe put a body in front of it that does a better job of slowing it down than anybody the Bulls had available tonight. Sure. Saw somebody in the chat mention, hey, the Bulls probably miss Zach Collins more than they miss Kobe White tonight. Maybe there is some truth in that.
They miss both.
Liam in the chat said, everyone was afraid to go bat to bat with Giannis and Miles Turner. Call it what it is. Yes, Billy has also been preaching, in addition to pace and turnover and winning the possession battle, physicality.
Yeah.
We got to be a more physical team. The times that the Bulls have struggled in the first half against Philly, the loss to the Knicks, physicality was an issue.
Yeah.
And it was certainly an issue tonight.
Yeah, it's hard. And I just talked about it in the first statement I was making about being physical with this team and shying away from that kind of contact. Like, you can't shy away from that against this team. You got to go into them. You saw it in the preseason with them being very physical with this team. But again, in that preseason, Zach Collins, was out there. I still remember the fight that Dalen Terry got into. And then Zach Collins was right there with him, you know what I'm saying, ready to scrap up. So that's probably why you saw Dalen out there tonight, because Billy didn't forget that part of it either. But yeah, man, again, this is Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's why I'm not going to be just over the moon, just like mad about this. This is Giannis, man. It didn't matter who you put on him. They tried everybody on him. They tried Vooch on him. He hits the 3 to get 35 points. They tried Pat on him. He dunked on him for and ones. They tried Okoro on him. He almost fouled out the game. Like, you just put who you can on these kind of guys, and you hope for the best. And you just take what you can. Like you said, him missing that amount of shots, you'll take that. The issue was they weren't getting those rebounds so they can have that. You can't give them those extra possessions to do those kind of things. And the three-point shooting is another thing that they've been great at. As you said, they shot 41% from 3. Like, they've been really good at three-point shooting this season. I thought Bulls did a solid job early on their guards defending that three-point line. But in that fourth quarter, it just kind of collapsed. You know what I mean? Like, and again, you're playing a really excellent basketball team, man. So, yeah, man, the Bulls lost. They lost to a really good team. This was not a bum squad out there. You tip your cap to them, man, and you go to the next one. But you remember what you went through in this one, man, and you try to apply it the next time you play.
Rookie Rollins tonight kind of hurt us, too, as well. He had a really good game.
Yeah, I just saw stuff that
you quarter too, though.
Yeah. In the chat point that out. Now they know about that Ryan Rollins kid. He's a baller. Guard him next game, maybe. Yeah, I mean, 20 points for the Bucks tonight, helping out Giannis and Turner. He did that on above 50% shooting from the field, including hitting 4 of his 6 threes. He also dished 4 dimes. Like, Rollins is nice.
He's nice,
They
bro.
found themselves a player with him.
Yeah.
And, it's again, I saw somebody in the chat a minute ago saying, like, I'm not panicking off this loss. You aren't. I'm not.
I'm not.
Like,
no.
The Bucks are a good team.
The Bucks are really good.
And Giannis is playing like MVP Giannis.
Yeah.
And when you are missing Kobe White, one of your team's more lethal scorers, and a quality big like Zach Collins, I saw Jeff Brox, I think, just say it was nice to see Io back out there tonight. And yeah, it sure was. Nice to get him back.
It was.
But like the Bulls bench got worked as badly as the Bulls starters got worked tonight.
Yeah, and the Bucks have a really good bench too as well. Like, the Bulls have a good one. They ran up against the team with a good one as well. And yeah, they got the W.
All right. Well, with that, let us knock out our first ad break right here. When we come back on the other side, there's a reason we didn't talk a whole lot of Modest in that first block, because I want to dive deep into what we saw from Modest tonight in the second block, because Billy has been talking about Modest and what he has seen and what he needs to see more of. Yes. We saw some of that tonight, but we also saw some maybe, growing pains and learning teaching moments for Modest tonight. Thank you for being here with us, Bulls Nation. Hit that like button as we go to these ads if you haven't done it yet. Throw us a super chat if you want to spread the joy to start your weekend, and we will be right back with more talk breaking down this game, plus Will to Go Gottlieb. Still ahead. Hit the like. Ads.
You can be good. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Mm-hmm. It's cool. Mm-hmm. You can be great.
Great.
We've seen a lot of that.
Of course.
But you want to be ultra. That's what you want to be, y'all. And there's only one way to do it, and that's the frosty cold, ice cold Michelob Ultra. Once it hits your lips, whether it's the bottle or the can, oh, man, it's awesome.
Right?
Shout out. On purpose. I'm awesome. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. Well, Dave, first of all, that's a cool jacket. And what makes it Ultra? Second of all, thank you very much for saying that. And what makes it Ultra is 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra is the official American beer sponsor of your CHGO Bulls. The superior game meets superior taste. So grab a Michelob Ultra, superior light beer, as you cheer on your favorite team, because no matter what you're playing for, what you need to do is make it superior with Michelob Ultra. Be ultra magnetic.
CHGO Bulls also brought y'all. Maybe even as early as this weekend.
Nice.
Let's hope not. But just in case, is your home's heating up to the challenge? Mm-hmm. If not, call Four Seasons.
Yes.
Maybe you need a new hot water tank.
Maybe.
Call Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Maybe just a tune-up for your furnace.
Maybe.
Call Four Seasons.
Yeah.
At Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation with all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and generator needs, with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or even holidays. Save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons. Furnaces start at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos, $57 a month. Yeah. So call them today, and you can save $50 from your trusted local experts. Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric have been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. They are your trusted local experts. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all of their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. We're back, CHGO Bulls postgame rolling along on Friday night. Unfortunately, the Bulls start their weekend with an L to the Bucks in the NBA Cup. Bulls now 1-1 in the Cup, and because of that final score, are now in the negatives in point differential, which, like, I watched the final 45 seconds of that game being like, why are both of these teams still trying to score points? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. The point differential rule.
I walked past Matt like, point differential.
Yeah. Yes. So that means Bulls now down 6 because they beat the Knicks by 10. They lost to the Bucks by 16. Dave, you know what I like to start my morning with every day of the weekday of the work week?
8 cups of coffee.
That actually just 3.
Tons of bran muffins.
I'm cutting back
after the coffee.
Cutting back.
I'm like a granola bar English muffin guy. Not so much with the bran muffins, but I never miss an issue of the CHGO Sports Daily Newsletter.
Facts.
Shout out to our guy Pat Norton. Also does a great job on that Bears beat for CHGO.
He does.
It hits your inbox every morning. It is free to sign up and subscribe for it to hit your inbox every morning, Monday through Friday. All of the latest news. If you missed the world of Chicago sports yesterday because you got a job, you're taking care of kids, pets, adulting chores, it happens. The best way to catch up on yesterday's news and today's what's ahead in the world of Chicago sports is that CHGO Sports Daily Newsletter. It is awesome. It is free. Sign up, read it. Shout out to our guy, Pat. I got a forward email from my dear sweet mother, like, within the last week or so, that was like, can you tell this Pat, friend of yours, I really enjoy reading his newsletter every morning. Like, nice. even your dear sweet, sports dumb mother can, like, understand it, and it's like awesome. It's just like bullet points. Yeah. Not bullet points, it's well written, but just like, here's the info you need as a Chicago sports fan today.
Hey man,
I agree, it's great.
When Mama Pet gives you the compliment, you take that to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. All
and right? she doesn't dole out compliments for everything she reads, and she reads a lot.
That's saying something, man. What an awesome lady.
She's the best. So is Pat. Read that newsletter. Subscribe to it. All right. Now, because we didn't talk Modest in that first block, it is time to talk Modest in this block.
Let's talk it.
It's The Future is Bright, Dave. Bling. You remember this? It's been a minute since we've done a Future is Bright segment brought to you, of course, from our friends at Shady Rays. we're going to put on our modest rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
And explain why the future is bright for one young modest Buzelis. Future is bright, brought to you by our friends at Shady Rays. Head to shadyrays.com and use promo code CHGO at checkout to get 35% off a pair of premium polarized shades.
Very nice. Very nice.
They should try it for themselves, Dave.
They should. That's what I've heard.
All right, so what I loved about this game is that on the heels of Modest being kind of continuing his 2-game dud stretch into the front half of the Bulls-Sixers game on Tuesday, he came out like a freaking firecracker at the beginning of the third quarter of that game. Immediately made a great defensive play and then drilled a 3 in transition the other way. And you're like, oh, Modest is alive. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then from that, we heard from Billy after the game talk about what he wants to see more of from Modest. He called out him, along with Pat, about like, hey, our power forwards can't have 0 rebounds collectively at halftime.
They cannot.
So in addition to Modest leading the Bulls like scoring out of the break tonight from the jump, he also had 3 or 4 rebounds in the first few minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Like that is the kind of activity and level of, being engaged in the game that I want to see from Modest every second he's on the floor.
Yeah, no, completely agree. He came right out of the gate.
Pause.
Ready to do his thing, man. And 36 minutes is awesome for him. But he really just was establishing himself very early and very often. He didn't miss his first shot to the third quarter, and that was a layup. That he missed, a breakaway layup that he missed.
Yeah, he was 6 for 6 at half.
Yeah, he was having a heck of a time, man. But what I like the most is he filled up the stat sheet. That's what I like the most. The 20 points, the 8 rebounds, the 3 assists, the 2 steals, and I love the block.
That great from behind block.
Yes, man. More of the help blocks, please. I need more of the help blocks from Modest Buzelis. For me, the help blocks are there because that shows the IQ is growing when he's doing that. Teams nobody, I don't care how good they are, has eyes in the back of their head. It doesn't happen. Maybe Magic Johnson. But nobody, or Jason Kidd, but nobody really has eyes in the back of their head. So once they're downhill and they're going up for that shot, it could be up to Modest to come over, and give some of that help defense, get some blocks that kind of way. Because the Bulls need it in a myriad of ways, Matt, when I'm talking rim protection, physicality, and defense. And him just doing that can provide all 3 of those things. And that will help immensely. Like, even if he just hits it and goes out of bounds, he can hit it and start the possession the other way. So many things can happen with that help defense from Modest. So I want him to pay more attention to that because he can rack up a bunch of blocks doing it like that. I love the 3-point shooting. I love the fact he had those 6 attempts on the 3-point shooting, Matt.
Yeah.
2 of 6, but I didn't care. It's the attempts that I just really liked that he took. So next time for him, just more. Just more of this. Don't shy away from the contact. I saw him shying away from the contact on a couple of those plays. I talked about it in the first segment. The team was doing that kind of stuff. So him just shying away from that contact, I don't want to see him doing that. Be more physical in that sense. I love that lefty layup, that sweeping lefty layup that he's developing. It looks really, really smooth and really, really nice. But overall, man, I'm just really, really proud of what we're seeing from Modest Buzelis because it is just, for me, continued growth and listening to your coach when he's telling you what he needs and you going out there and providing it.
How about this for the future being bright for Modest? We should send him a pair of Shady Raids. Olive Cruz in the chat. Modest is developing in a great team environment. Good coaching, great point guard who makes him better. Facts, and more facts. Bull 6639 saying, yo, Modest hit it and quit it, get in that action. So, yeah, he did have 13 and a half and finished with 20. So more of his scoring on the front end. But, I think I liked that you mentioned that you liked that he took 6 threes tonight, even though he only hit 2 of them. I do, too, because he did not hesitate on any of his open looks from behind the arc. I love that amount of confidence from Modest to rise and fire, regardless of where they are in the game, what the score is, how he's been shooting that night. He is confident taking the open threes. What I didn't love as much tonight was his moments of hesitation came when he, whether it was in transition or half court, was on the ball and looked like he had an opportunity to attack the basket, and he hesitated, second-guessed himself, or even when he did put the ball on the floor and go, he only went and like he was holding himself back a little bit.
Yeah.
That one drive in particular where he did end up drawing a foul,
Yeah.
got whacked in the face a little bit.
Smack.
But you were yelling at him, and I was right there with you nodding my head because it looked like he had a size advantage one-on-one. I can't remember who was checking him, but they were not as big as Giannis or as Modest. And he drove, and he made progress on that drive, but instead of driving through the body that he was drawing a foul on, he kind of faded off of it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, Modest, we've seen these moments where you make these great off-ball cuts and you prove your dominance of size in space. You can do that on the ball too.
Yeah, man, and all the time. And the greatest example of what I was talking about was watching Trey Jones, because I was showing it sitting next to Joey C. The C is for Cat's Meow. I was sitting right next to him, and I'm like, well, this is what I'm talking about when I was yelling about Giannis, because when I was yelling about Modest, because when Trey Jones got the basketball, he had Giannis on him and went right into his chest.
Yep.
And then went around him for a right-hand layup, and A.J. Green was the other guy underneath the bucket. So he went through two dudes who were bigger than him, one way bigger than him, and one Defensive Player of the Year. It didn't matter. He forced the referee to blow the whistle or not. That is what you do when you're attacking inside. You don't worry about who's there. You just go, and you force the ref to make the call. We watched Giannis do it for years. That's what he does. He goes inside, and he forces the ref to make the call. And 8 times out of 10, I think you'll get those calls because they know that's how you play. So when Modest starts establishing that's how he plays, and listen, he's got the handles. We saw the step back 3 that he hit at the end of the half, that was real nasty and vicious. He's got that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But when you're in that paint, bro, that's the paint. You okay? So either if you ain't got a, nice little floater, or if you don't have a mid-range jump shot like a Kevin Garnett, I'm sorry, yes, I'm right. Actually, a Kevin Garnett and a Kevin Durant.
Shout out to the OG.
You don't have those kind of things. You go inside, man, and you punish those guys because you have got to get to the free throw line. And again, he got to the line twice. That is the difference between 20 points and the difference between 27 points.
Yep.
That is why Giannis had 41 points. He got to the line 11 times.
Wasn't even efficient at the line.
Yeah, he hit 8 of them.
Yeah,
That's 8 free points. That is a huge difference, and why Matt walks away a happy camper. You know what I'm saying? With what he put on that. But yeah, again, this is stuff he'll learn. We're not even 10 games in, and I'm already impressed with what I see from this young man out there. But just pointing out these things that I know that he can get better at, Joey C. And I know that he can grow into, because he has that in him, man. Like, if it wasn't like that, Matt, we would see sitting here really yelling, about it. And it's not that. It's just a discussion about, okay, he needs to fix a couple of these things. And then I think we got ourselves a stew going.
I like what I saw from him tonight, too, where it's, again, super early on in the season, but for a second-year player, you can kind of tell he's got that cliche of, like, when things go good for him early on, he gets that confidence and he puts together a full game. And we've seen him already have one huge game this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was incredible tonight. I thought he just played a solid all the way through
good.
game. And when you talk about the rebounds,
you
talk about some of that defense, all of it kind of feeding into some of his offensive game. I think it was just like a solid game. And I think, I know we're going to always emphasize the huge moments, the incredible performances, but more nights like this, I think stacking those, I think that's what's going to be important for Modest long haul just this season.
Yeah, and that's why, it's, I think as a Bulls fan right now, myself, and I know I'm not alone, feel like, if you give a mouse a cookie when it comes to Giannis and what we see from him, minute to minute within a game and then game to game, because you see him, oh my gosh, 6 of 6 from the field. Are we about to have another Modest night like last season? What was the perfect game? Was it against the Heat? I can't remember. And then he was just quiet for the entire third quarter. He hit that one bucket at the very end of the third quarter, but that was his first points since half.
Yeah.
And when he's got 13, I think leading the team, or maybe Giddey had 14 and a half, but you show that aggressiveness in the first half. Then in the second half, you're like, all right, attack more, attack better, and get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
But that one foul that he drew that I mentioned on that one drive, you mentioned just only 2 free throws tonight.
That's it.
He could have had 6, 8.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, because the Bucks have size.
Right.
You have size too. You got some game. You got some handles. And man, I just Tonight was a good, modest game, but it also just left you wanting more and reminds you that there is still so much room to grow for this young man.
So much room to grow for him, and that's why it's a good thing.
It's like, like a chia pet. Ooh. Like my stock in modest. I'm just watering that chia pet twice a day. Let's knock out our second ad break. Another shout out, Shady Rays. ShadyRays.com, promo code CHGO. Get yourself a pair. When we come back on the other side, more thoughts on tonight's Bulls loss. We'll hear from Willie Gottlieb and more of your in the chat comments. Keep them coming. Hit the like.
Brunt.
Today's show brought to you by Mando. Mando is a whole body deodorant. Yeah. You can use it, of course, in your pits, but you can also use it in your pits, your balls, your thigh folds, your belly button, your butt crack, even your feet. Shout out to the Burks. They're still out. Use Mando on your feet. It's a solid stick deodorant formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. There's also a spray deodorant, aluminum-free and ideal for those hard-to-reach places. Yeah. It's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, ugly fact, gentlemen, the average man's grundle odor level, 5 out of 10. Not great, but with Mando, that grundle odor level, 0 out of 10. Woo-hoo! Get yourself the Mando starter pack, perfect for new customers. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code, promo code CHGO at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness.
Oh, we love it. Game time, ladies and gentlemen. We love a zone deal. Why do I love the zone deal? Because guess what? You choose the section, and Game Time does the selecting. It's my favorite thing in the world. Besides doing shows in Matt Pack. You know what else they got? Priority. It's an awesome thing. That means fees are included. So when you look at the ticket, they ain't gonna lie to you. It's right there in your face. You know what you're getting, man, and it's an amazing thing. And I love it so much. Of course, you're getting the seat views. Of course, you're getting the lowest price guarantee. Of course, you're getting that Game Time ticket coverage, which is the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. It's the best, Matt. I'm not just telling you that because I'm me. I'm telling you because it's the truth. So take that guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time. You got to create an account. Use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply.
Tap ticket and go. Download Game Time app today because Joey C, what time is it?
Game Time Hook. Joey's Game Time Hook was a little chunky.
A little chunky there, man.
It was kind of a Heimlich, huh?
Yeah, man. We
promised myself I wasn't going to throw up. I had Malort last night. Leave me alone.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Guess what?
No apology necessary.
There is a place where you'll be able to celebrate, sir. And again, maybe not, going over everybody.
Tell me more, Big Dave. What is this event you're talking about?
I'm going to tell you more, sir. It's the CHGO basketball. Sweet. Take over. Rose in the rafters. That is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick Rose will be immortalized on January 24th. That jersey goes into the rafters, and you, my friend, yes, you can be there to see it live from the suite. The Chicago Bulls are playing the Kalamazoo How You About an Hours. It doesn't matter who they're playing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Boston Celtics. But it's all about Derrick Rose. It is all about the celebration of him that night. What an amazing night this is about to be. I have never been to a jersey retirement, and I especially ain't never been to one for a player of this magnitude right here. So I cannot wait to be in that suite with you guys. We got an update on how many have been sold already. There's diehards available only right now. And oh my God, y'all, you might want to get some. So if you're on the fence about it, get off of the fence and get on your computer or get on your phone, buy yourself a sweet ticket and come hang out with myself. And don't touch the quaff because I will be on security detail. There'll be some awesome surprises, be plenty of food. You know that dessert cart is going round and round, ladies and gentlemen. But we will be in the suite celebrating Derrick Rose and watching that jersey go right up into the rafters. You can be there. This is a top shelf event. CHGO basketball sweet takeover. Be there January 24th.
Boom. Shout out Bulls Nation. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. As we break down this Bulls lost to the Bucks on Friday night. Cup game. Bulls now 1-1. BT Robinson in the chat said Giddey really struggled in the second half. Daniel Corsetti in the chat, Giddey struggled to get into rhythm in the second half, went cold sitting out. I noticed somebody else earlier in the chat talking about Giddey and having an issue with Billy's rotation tonight and when and why he pulled Giddey.
Okay.
Billy was talking after yesterday's practice, and the whole interview is available on our Bulls playlist, CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Shout out to the GOAT, about trying to manage minutes for Giddey and Trey Jones, especially while they're still waiting for Kobe White to come back and not trying to play these guys too many minutes. Modest played 36 tonight, Giddey 35, Vooch 31. I think BT Robinson also pointed out in the chat that the Cavs – we're also playing front end of a back-to-back tonight. We got to go to Cleveland tomorrow and try and beat them. They mopped the Wizards, and none of their starters played more than 28 minutes tonight.
Mopped them.
Put up 148.
Yeah.
Almost got the T-Wolves 150, Dave.
150 points.
Puntos. But so, look, maybe that could be the reason why Giddey just played 35 minutes tonight. Billy Donovan talked about it yesterday. He's trying to manage these guys' minutes. And, I mean, it's not like we've seen Billy play any of his starters 40 minutes or like anything close to that in these first games.
No.
It's depth. They've been preaching depth. They've been bragging about depth. They want to use their depth. Billy went 11 deep tonight. You know, Dalen only played 5 minutes, Julian Phillips 4.
But that's what happened.
But, I mean, Herter 23, Pat 23, Jalen 17, Io 20. He wants to lean on his depth.
Yeah.
Especially front end of a back-to-back when the second part of that back-to-back is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, and probably why Nakora was definitely in foul trouble. But
yeah, he only
I'm sure
played 17.
That was part of the reason. I mean, 17 minutes, man. But, again, I'm sure Billy understands that and how important that game is to that young man. I'm sure he has it circled on his calendar. But, yeah, even Trey Jones with 29 minutes tonight. Vooch with 31 minutes tonight. Like, they kept him low tonight. And – you know, the Bulls, they struggled, you know, shooting and scoring and doing the things you need to do to win a basketball game out there. But I'm sure Billy had that kind of plan in the back of his head also. Like, guys, not just is it a back-to-back, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers we're playing against, man. Like, this is a serious team. We should be ready for that too. So I don't know if I had an issue so much with the minutes that Billy had tonight because he's just been so good at them so much this season. Like when you go 6-1, you buy yourself some cachet and you buy yourself, you know what I'm saying, some limp, some extra rope and things like that. So it's a lot of things out, you know, you'll say, okay, all right, you're 6-2. You'll let that go. All right, I didn't like your rotations, but you know, okay, it's all right. I understand why you were doing it like that. Okay, I thought Okoro should have got in a little bit more. Me and Joey C were sitting there saying that, like, man, we thought Okoro should have been in more after he got that fourth foul. I thought he should have stayed in the game. But again, you let those things go because you understand the bigger picture, and it's about winning, which is cool to say about the Chicago Bulls right about now. That has not been the case for a while. Whip. Who is calling?
Black Ice 55 482. Giannis was on a tear this year. No shame in that loss. Yeah, I agree.
It was an answer.
Sometimes you just go
Giannis
on the
is
road
tough.
and play a tough opponent with an MVP caliber player.
Yeah.
And you take an L. Somebody else just pointed out the shot attempt discrepancy. Thanks for joining us. You joined a little late. We talked about that right at the front.
We did.
Hard to beat the Bucks when you let them take 12 more shots.
Thanks for being here, though.
I heard a jingle. A jingle, Joey. Do we have a goat from across enemy lines?
That's where he's the goat! The goat!
Joining us on that Go Talk hotline that reaches further than the Madhouse on some nights. He's using it to call us all the way from Fiserv Forum where he watched this one. Shout out to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Go Talk hotline presented by Michelob Ultra. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your Bulls with Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
The superior Ultra couldn't help the Bulls get this win tonight, Goat. They fall to 6-2, 1-1 in the NBA Cup group stage. We've been talking about what we liked from Giannis, especially in that first half, but sometimes you just lose to a freight train named Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He's good, man. He is really good. And I think they did a pretty good job trying to contain him in the first quarter. Okoro picked up those 2 fouls early, picked up a third one not long after that, which is tough. Patrick came in and I thought did a pretty good job. They're showing bodies. They're throwing, Vooch on him. They're trying to switch onto him. They're trying to keep him out of the paint. But he's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's just really freaking good. And he had 41 points and had so many drives where it was just like relentless. It was almost like a dad playing with his infant children, at like on like a toddler hoop or something, and he was just like pulling them to the rim and dunking on them. And if he missed, he was able to get a tip in. I was asking Modest about that after the game, and he was like, sometimes I feel like he misses on purpose because he's like able to, get those, not to like pad stats, but just to be able to get those tip ins that are a lot easier. So he's like kind of ramming his way to the basket and then able to just tip it in because the Bulls showed so many bodies and they just like couldn't contain him. So you guys mentioned the field goal discrepancy, the offensive rebounds, the free throws, all that stuff, I think added up. But at the end of the day, this team is just really tough to guard because they stretch you out so far. And then he's just like this black hole going to the basket and he's sucking in all the defense. And then if he doesn't finish or he doesn't get an offensive rebound, it's probably because he kicked it out to Miles Turner for an open three or AJ Green or, Gary Trent or one of these guys. So just a really tough matchup.
You just mentioned Modest. We spent last segment on just talking strictly about Modest in the game that he had tonight. Would love your opinion on what you saw. Were you encouraged by some things and were you kind of, for lack of a better term, discouraged by some things that you saw?
Yeah, we talked to Billy pregame about this, and he was kind of saying, like, look, if we're going to judge Modest just on his scoring, like, that's not going to go well. Like, we can't do that. And so I'm glad he pointed that out. I feel like it's something I've been trying to articulate, and he just did a much better job of it. But, I mean, Modest played great tonight. He had, 20 points on 13 shots. I thought he was aggressive. His first couple of baskets, too, just like one in transition, one driving, nice scoop with the left hand. They ran a split action at the top of the key, and he cut backdoor and got one. And it was just like in the flow. It wasn't anything too tough. He did have a couple of plays where he tried to create something out of nothing and turned it over. There was the one where he brought the ball up and it was kind of a broken floor and Cole Anthony came and poked it from behind. That's what's going to happen. But I feel like he impacted the game in other areas. I thought he was as physical as we've seen him in a while defensively. I think he had 2 steals and a block, or maybe vice versa. So that was great to see. He tied his season high in rebounding with 8. I feel like he put his imprint on the game in more ways. And that's kind of what I'm looking out for now, more than the scoring. And I think that's kind of the way that he is supposed to be or is being evaluated by the coaching staff. So I thought he had a good game, not a great game, but it was nice to see him obviously get back in the scoring category. But there's just so many other things that he needs to do in order to impact the game. And something good just happened.
Hawks, baby.
Hawks, baby.
And even if he does have a good scoring night, maybe he doesn't impact the game in those other ways. So there's just more to it than that. And I think this was a good example of that.
The Bulls got Ayo back tonight, played 20 minutes after I saw you reported before the game. Billy said 24-minute limit tonight. So he kept him under that. What did you make of Ayo's first minutes after missing a few with that quad contusion? And what else did you hear from Billy or from Ayo himself about how they're going to manage this moving forward?
Yeah, it sounds like there was a minutes limit or they wanted to keep him a little bit lower today because there was a chance he was going to play tomorrow. I don't know if that will end up being the case, but that was kind of the thought. It sounded like pregame. So we'll see. Obviously back-to-back tomorrow in Cleveland, so they're heading there now. I thought I was okay. He had a couple of drives that were really nice, and you could just feel his presence in transition on a handful. But, it just felt like he kind of had missed a couple of games, and I think he'll sort of work his way back into game form. But certainly having that second guard out there at all times where you always have 2 of Giddey, Ayo, and Trey on the court at all times, that allows you to have a little bit more rim pressure. It felt like they couldn't get as much as they needed to on a night where you have Giannis and Miles Turner down there. But it was better, I think, than the last few games. So this whole game just felt like they were a little bit stuck in the mud. I don't think they played particularly poorly, but they just weren't ever really able to get out into a stretch where they had, a 10 or 12 to 2 run and kind of put their impact or their identity into the game. And that's something that they're going to need to be able to fight through because it's not always going to be easy to do that. But I think having Ayo back really puts him in position to be able to do that in the coming games.
Goat, I don't think that the Bulls weren't physical tonight, but I did feel like they shied away from some of the contact tonight on a few plays. Modest is one that pops into my head where he kind of, was going to the lane against Cole Anthony, the one where he got, hit in the face. He was going to the lane on kind of Cole Anthony, and he was stepping back, but he was still kind of not fully engaged with his aggression with going inside. And I felt like that about several other players out there. Did you feel that way, or were you just like, no, I was completely cool with the physicality that the Bulls played with?
I think it's kind of a complicated question because to me, so much of it was like in juxtaposition to what we saw from the Bucks, and Giannis is just so physical that I don't think
Yeah.
anything could feel physical in comparison. So I think that's part of it. I do think you need to try to match that physicality. I'm not sure any team can. So maybe it just felt like there was that gap there because of who they're going up against. But in general, I mean, that's like the key for them. That's kind of
Yeah.
when you break down all these different statistical categories of how they feel like what's their formula to winning games. A lot of it comes down to this term physicality, and that's why Billy keeps bringing it up. It's why we keep talking about it. The point of attack on defense, on drives, those drives lead to the kickouts and the ability to attack closeouts. And the Bulls are very proud of the fact that they're, I don't know if they're number one, but top five, I think, in forcing closeouts. So like all this stuff, it's like the source of where they get their whole identity. And I think you're going to need, if you want to be successful at that, you need to be one of the most physical teams in the league. And again, that doesn't just mean like grabbing guys, like if Vooch had the one play where he kind of wrapped up Giannis. It doesn't necessarily need to be like that. Although Billy, I think, did like that play because it was just like, all right, can somebody please put a body on this guy? But I do think that needs to be a part of every single game. And that's a tough thing to do. Billy's mentioned this a couple times. It takes a lot of physical, emotional energy to be able to concentrate, to be able to get all that stuff done on a play-by-play basis for 100 possessions a game for 82 games a year. That's a lot. And I think there's going to be times where it falters. There's going to be times where, in comparison to other teams, you don't look as physical. But I think overall, you have to be pretty happy with their level of physicality, given that's such a big goal for them this year.
Just a quick one, go because they're on a back-to-back, playing against Cleveland, another big team, you know what I'm saying, another big physical team. How are you judging this kind of the way the Bulls are playing in this back-to-back? Like, what are you looking for yourself within this, with this being their first back-to-back and, again, playing against two of the best teams in the East?
Yeah, I think it's all about, like, can you maintain that identity? Can you play with that pace when your legs are tired? And I think they pride themselves on being one of the best conditioned teams in the league. I think they're going to try to do that, obviously, from game 1 to game 82 and beyond. But that's the true test, is you're playing two gigantic physical teams that play two huge big men at the 4 and 5. Mobley and Allen tomorrow. You got Giannis and Miles Turner tonight. Like, you have to be able to compete with that. And the Bulls don't have that kind of size, right? Like, they've got Isaac Okoro, who I think did the best he could, but he's given up like 7, 8, 9 inches on Giannis. Like, there's only so much you can do. And so that's the test I'm looking for, is like, can you keep coming back with that? And I think the game, what was it, the Sixers, when they came off of the Knicks loss and they came back and had a rough first half against the Sixers and then were able to win that game, like, that was a good sign to me that they were able to get back to that level of physicality. Again, I don't think that we didn't see it tonight. It just wasn't enough to win the game. And so can you get back to that point and not drop both of these? Because I think that would it's too early to like say anything big about the team, but I just feel like with the momentum that they have right now, dropping 2 in a row would be tough. I think that'd be a tough pill to swallow.
You mentioned that comeback against Philly. That was unquestionably the best game we've seen from Isaac Okoro in his early Bulls career. Kind of the other side of that coin tonight. I think it's his second game so far where he's struggled with multiple fouls early, and that kind of put a damper on his entire evening. He only ended up playing 17 minutes. I saw you had a chance to talk to him after tonight's game. What does he have to say after such a frustrating night for him, I'm sure?
Yeah, I think he was just a little frustrated. Like, he wants to be able to compete in these moments, and when you're picking up fouls, whether they're ticky-tacky or not, it just kind of takes you out of that. And so I think it just takes away from your rhythm. It takes away from your game plan. It takes away from your ability to maintain aggression as you play. I think that was probably a little bit tough. But I mean, he's a veteran in this league now, and like, he kind of knows what you have to do in order to respond to that. I do think he bounced back. He had a couple of key plays in the third quarter. I think it was trying to break up the Bucks zone. They really just pack the paint, the Bucks do, and make it really tough to drive. And so I think that also kind of took some air out of the Bulls' sails to be able to generate those drives and kicks and closeouts. But Okoro, like, that's his job on this team, is to be the guy that guards Giannis one night and Paolo Banchero another night and Tyrese Maxey the next night. He's got to be the one that does that. Modest and Billy and Okoro all expressed, when we talked to them today, that they have the utmost confidence in him to be able to do that. But that doesn't make an easy job. And it doesn't mean that even if you do a good job, that Giannis isn't going to score 41 on you. So that's just a tough matchup. And I think it's a particularly tough matchup for the Bulls. But, he has been playing well. He's been playing aggressive. He's just got to wake up tomorrow and go do it tomorrow against Mobley.
One more question, Goat. How happy were you that Giannis finished one assist shy of a triple-double, so you didn't have to hate the way he played?
No, I thought he had a great game. I just feel bad for the people that only care about triple doubles and therefore didn't think this was a good game because he only had 9 assists.
Meanwhile, I just bet him to score 35 plus tonight. It was the easiest money I've ever made, Goat. So,
made me some money.
no Goon of the Night nomination for you tonight, unfortunately, with the L. So, anything else that Bulls fans need to know from this one before we let you go and make the trek back?
No, I don't think so. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Safe travels home. We appreciate you making the drive. Willie go, Gottlieb. Get home safe. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Right,
shout out to Goat for making the trek across enemy lines.
Yes.
I do that but once a year, if that. Mm-hmm. It's a dangerous, scary place.
Do you have because I know you, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like
we go back.
Yeah, we go back a little bit. I just feel like in my soul that you have some kind of tradition when you cross into Wisconsin. Like you say something under your breath about Wisconsin when you cross into it and it says welcome to Wisconsin.
Under my breath.
Or out loud.
Under my breath.
Okay. What do you is there something you do?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I am right. Okay,
so
yeah.
I go to Wisconsin usually once a year.
Yeah.
For me and my friends do our annual canoe trip down the Wisconsin River. Mm-hmm. It's a great time. It's the only thing Wisconsin's good for. Some solid camping. And usually when, we cross that state line, when you're, on the highway, welcome to Wisconsin, windows down, FTP, bear down,
You roll the windows down and you yell that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know me some Matt Peck. You know what I mean?
I'm sick when it comes to my hate for Wisconsin and Packers and just all Wisconsin things. Yeah. And come on, man, Giannis beat the crap out of us tonight.
He did.
Screw Wisconsin and everything it does.
Yeah, fair point.
But shout out to Goat. Yeah. If you aren't reading his stuff, you should be. The instant game reactions that Goat, Dave, and I collectively do together, those are free for all to read. Tonight's is already up. Go check it out, allchgo.com. But if you want the very best of Goat's writing and reporting, you need to become a CHGO diehard so you can get access to everything he writes. And right now, there's a promo to do so. $36 sign-up offer right now for Will to Go Gottlieb and all of the other great writers, credentialed reporters we have working at CHGO covering all your favorite teams. Use promo code GOAT when you go to sign up. Clicking that link, scanning that QR code, just a $36 sign up first year offer right now to become a diehard. Shout out. I was hanging out in our Bulls Discord last night. Yeah. That is, of course, one of the many things for diehards only, that Discord channel. And several were talking about becoming a diehard recently and joining the chat. Welcoming them to the chat. How does the chat go? One of our many diehards down under said that they finally got their diehard package that arrived recently. So we're very excited about it. So their CHGO t-shirt fit like a glove.
Like a glove.
So shout out to all you new diehards and all of you day one diehards.
I will see you all in the Discord chat next week.
Hey.
I will be there.
So as we round out tonight, we were able to get some sound from Modest himself after his 20-point night, courtesy of the GOAT. Joey, we got that ready to go? Let's take a look and a listen to Modest talking in the Bucks locker room after tonight's loss.
That we have to be more physical. I mean, it's tough. He's a tough player to go with. It's a collective group effort to stop him. But I think we gave up just easy buckets for the other players. Like he was obviously getting downhill, but the other players impacted the game, and that's how they got the win.
Is it difficult to kind of make some of those defensive rotations when a player does have a center of gravity like Giannis, where you are so focused on him?
Yeah, it's tough. Everyone plays their role really well on their team, but it's a collective group effort to stop a guy like that.
Modest, obviously, you guys brought in Isaac to sort of handle all these different matchups. He gets in foul trouble early. Maybe not just tonight, but in the future of all the times you have to play this team, do you feel some sort of obligation to be able to handle that matchup in the cases where it does become one-on-one?
I mean, yeah, whatever the coach tells me, I'm going to do it. Ice was guarding him really well. He got some really cheap fouls, but you know, that's what comes with the game. He was guarding him pretty well, I believe. So whatever the team needs me to do, I'm going to do that.
I'm just curious about like his offensive rebounding in particular. It felt like you guys really showed a lot of help, tried to contest the rim, and then sometimes he would still just be able to tip it back in. What's that like, just getting behind the play like that?
Yeah, every time he drives, he's creating contact, so you kind of get pushed back, and it's hard to grab that rebound, so the other guys have to come in. But sometimes I feel like he misses on purpose and like grabs and finishes because he gets you out the way. So, but I mean, as I said, it's a team. It's the team that to guard him, it takes the team.
Yeah, Billy talks about how, sometimes you got to stick your nose in there and be more physical. And it's got to be, obviously it's tough here. The weight difference, the experience difference. Can you answer the call from the coach to do that with where you're at right now?
Do what?
Just be more physical against a guy like that.
Of course.
Obviously, you gotta.
Yeah, of course. I can always be better. I can always, do better in whatever game I play. I'm always looking to learn. I'm always searching to learn. So, if that's what he says I have to do, I'm going to do it.
Billy said he's been really happy with your guys' shot selection from three-point range, even though you're taking fewer than last season.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your own personal shot selection? Do you want to get your volume up at all anymore? Just kind of where do you feel?
I'm just allowing the game to come to me. I'm not really pressing. I'm going to be aggressive all the time. They tell me to be aggressive, but I'm not really pressing on my shots or anything like that. I know I'm capable of doing a lot of things on offense, but it's the things I have to do on defense and the little stuff to impact winning.
Thanks, Modest.
Thank you, guys.
That was Modest Buzelis after tonight's loss up in Milwaukee. Shout out to the GOAT for getting that footage. Look, he talked a lot about physicality. Modest was only charged with one foul tonight, but obviously, frustrated with the way that Giannis just bullied him and everybody around.
Everybody.
But let me tell you, Dave, after watching that 3 minutes and change of Modest talking after tonight's loss, a game in which he played pretty well, and it is the regular season, game 8 of 82, that young man was pissed.
Excellent.
Pissed off about that loss. You could see it in his face. You could hear it in his voice. He is stewing in misery in that visitor's locker room up north, and I freaking love it. You know what it means? It means that young man has got some of the crazy brain that this Bulls fan has that I want my Bulls players to have.
Exactly.
He is pissed.
Preach, Matt.
I love that he is pissed right now.
Oh,
Get mad, Modest.
Every
Get mad.
second of it. From when he took the headphones off and just took that deep breath, you saw the anger swirling about from that young man. It was the absolute best. He was in a glass case of emotion. Oh, he was so upset. Like, just the question. You could, I saw someone say you could see the screw you in his eyes. Like, yes, you could absolutely see that. I love the first answer was, we got to be more physical. Yeah, we just sat there and had this discussion, and that was the first thing he said. Also love, he said, whatever the coach wants me to do, I'm going to do it. This just makes me excited, not just for the future, Matt, but for the next game. Because what are you going to do with all that anger, young fella? What are you going to do with it? You're going to bottle it up and use it tomorrow and unleash it upon the Cleveland Cavaliers, sir? Excellent. This is what I'm here for with this kind of insanity, because Matt's crazy and so am I. And we enjoy when our players have this insanity. Why you think I got a belt called Goon of the Night? We love this kind of stuff right here, bro.
Yeah.
And I want more of it.
You will find the jade monkey by the next full moon.
BT Robinson in the chat saying, "Oh, he mad."
Oh,
yeah,
he's mad, bro.
Philip 12 saying, "You're mad. He's mad. Time for a mad hat throw." No, you know what?
Nah.
I'm not that mad about this loss tonight.
No,
I'm really not.
either.
They went up to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Tough place to play. Tough place to get a win.
Yeah.
They played them evenly
Yeah.
for 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Just kind of fell apart at the end. Giannis had himself a night.
Yeah.
But you know what? We saw positive signs from Modest. Good to get Io back in the fold, and it's the front night of a back-to-back,
Yeah.
so you get to try again tomorrow.
I mean, it's just like that first loss they had against the Knicks, man. Like, the Knicks had to shoot lights out for them to do that, man. And so, yeah, like, these two losses have not brought out that anger in either one of us in this kind of thing, man. But, yeah, it just makes you excited for the next game.
Short little bit of OT here because we got CHGO Blackhawks post-game right around the corner. Just a reminder, if you are watching on our various streaming services, shout out to you. Thanks for watching. If you want the bonus coverage, just head to allchgo.com. I mean, there's one thing that I am mad about tonight. It's the discrepancy of shots. You cannot let the Bucks take 12 more shots than you. You just can't. Because you know what? In my opinion, they're not the Bucks of old, but I would still say that they got more talent on the floor than this Bulls team does.
Sure.
More veteran talent. The Bulls are a young team. They're trying to learn how to win.
Yeah.
Not a hot take, just my opinion. If that is the case and you're playing on their floor, you can't give them 12 extra shots, man. That is the one thing that I'm genuinely mad about tonight. But it was one bad element of a game where you still gave yourself a chance to win.
Absolutely.
In Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
Like, I'll live with that.
Like, you did those wrong things, but you were still in this basketball game. You still had a shot to win it. It's just they had a Giannis. That's all. They had a trump card right there. They had a Giannis. That's it. But, yeah, man, you're going to have those games where you don't do everything right. They've done it in wins when they didn't do everything right, but they still came out on the other side okay. But some of those nights are going to happen like that. That's what makes me excited for this next game against Cleveland, man, because this is another team that is kind of like Milwaukee with all pros on their team, with all kinds of talent on their team, with size on their team, with three-point shooting on their team, man, and with something to prove also because they've gotten off to a slow start. They want to get back to proving that, nah, bro, we are the class of the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting and a fun game to watch, and I want Modest and all that anger there in Cleveland.
Yeah. Boy. Shout out to our guy, Rob, who I see joining the chat right at the buzzer, say, great to see players as mad as us fans about an L, and this wasn't even a bad L. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like Modest or the team played like crap tonight.
Right, exactly.
He was pissed. Thomas Banks in the chat said Modest scoring 25 tomorrow night. How about 35?
How about 35? Right. Get to the line.
Let's go.
How
about 35? Get to the free throw line.
Get to
Modest,
the line.
I pose this challenge. 2 free throws tonight. Take 8 tomorrow.
Yes.
How about that?
That's 18.
We are going to get out of here now so we can let the Blackhawks crew get ready. They are past the halfway
Full
point
crew, baby.
of the third period. Hawks just tacked on another one. They are up 3-0 right now. Looking to close out that win over Calgary. And if they do so, they'll get to 7-5-3. You know what that is?
What that mean?
Bears above 500.
Hey.
Bulls above 500
Come on,
despite
man,
tonight's
man.
loss. Blackhawks above 500.
I like it.
These are winning days, Chicago.
The amount of Malort shots I had this weekend, above 500.
We're going to let King Joey go home and go to bed because he did good work last night.
He did.
And he did
And
good work tonight.
He did.
Shout out to him tonight. And always, are you back with us tomorrow? No, I think we got Sean rocking with us
Yeah, we
tomorrow
got Sean
night.
with you guys tomorrow, and I'm with the Blackhawks and Bears crew on Sunday.
Look at that.
On Sunday,
we got
baby.
Bears Hawks Sunday after a Bears Bulls Sunday last week. What a time.
Camped out in front
What
of
a time, Chicago sports
Big
fans.
weekend.
Enjoy
Stick
it.
with us.
We will see y'all tomorrow night, right around this time, after Bulls Cavs. We will be live for postgame on that one. In the meantime, read Goat Stuff, allchgo.com. Become a diehard so you can read all of it. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. I am Bull_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Appreciate the likes. Hit it now if you haven't done it yet on your way out. Make sure you subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel. 92.5K and climbing.
And growing.
And keep it locked right here. Just momentarily, CHGO Blackhawks live post-game. The whole crew.
Whole crew, baby.
Mario's here.
Yeah.
Jay's here.
His mustache.
Greg in the house,
Greg
too,
in the
baby.
house.
Let's go.
Slimming down on them, baby.
Hey.
Getting a little slim down.
Love you, Bulls Nation. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. See you, Reb. Be good.
Love y'all, man. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.